This week we're talking about personal business letters. Since you all are in the 8th grade, there are probably some things you remember about personal business letters. Does anybody remember anything about personal business letters?
No, ma'am.
At all? Personal business letters, the date line, inside address. Okay, so we're gonna have to review. All right. So what we're gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about the different parts of a personal letter and a friendly letter, and we're gonna talk about what ways you have to use personal and business letters.
No, we gotta do.
Yeah, you don't have to write this part. Okay, so the purpose of a business letter. The purpose of a business letter is to deal with personal business, or deal with business on a personal level. So if you were writing, say for instance, you bought an iPhone, and Apple sent you an email saying that it was going to be X, Y, and Z time before you got it. And when you get it, something's wrong with it. So you would write a letter to Apple saying something's wrong with my phone, blah, blah, blah. So you're writing it on a personal level. Write a business letter on a personal level. Alright, block format is commonly used. You know, block format is when everything is on the left-hand side. No indentions, everything's on the left-hand side. And make sure that you're professional. Make sure that you're professional. If you miss something when you write your notes, we'll go back.
What? You got to write it?
Yeah. I'll make sure that this probably will be on your exam. Yeah, we do bullets. But it is the best way to deal with any. It is the best way to deal with any business. And even though you might not use snail mail to like, you know, put it in an envelope, mail it, you can still use this format in your email. So dealing with personal business on a personal level. Block format. Everything on the left hand side, no indentions. And always be professional. Always be professional. If you didn't get it, I'll go back. Personal business letter. What we talking about? Okay, let me go on to the next slide. I'll come back if you miss something. Okay, format. Go ahead and hit enter a couple times. Go ahead and put format on your notes. Now, format of a business letter is very important. When you're using Microsoft Word, your format is going to be very, very important. So what you need to know is the margins, 2 inches at the top, 1 inch on the left, right, and on the bottom. 2 inches at the top, 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 at the bottom. And how do you put your, how do you change your margins on Microsoft Word?
Go to page layout.
Page layout and whatever.
Click on the margins.
This is one part of the format that you'll always have to remember. We'll go back and look at spacing. When it comes to your letters, how much space needs to be between each part of the business letter, so on and so forth. But this is the format. We'll talk about spacing later.
Click.
2 inches at the top, 1 on everywhere else. Got it? this part, parts of a business letter. This part should be a relief for most of you all. But the parts of a business letter we're going to talk about from top to bottom. So you really need to make sure you know this part. Parts of a business letter. Your first part is your heading. Now, your heading is your complete address or the return address and the current date. Now, make sure you remember return address means your address. So, for instance, return address, if you were filling it out and you were filling your envelope out, return address would mean if the letter got lost, who would it need to be returned to? It would need to be returned to you because you're writing the letter. So your heading is going to include your address or whoever's writing the address and the current date. The inside address is who you're sending the letter to. So you need to know the difference between the two. You need to know the difference between inside address and return address. So inside address is what? Inside address is what? The inside address is who you're sending the letter to. The return address is your address, who's sending the letter. So your first two parts of a business letter, so at the top you're going to have, if you have a letterhead, then you won't have to worry about your complete address. You'll just start with the date. That's the head. The second part is the inside address. Whoever you're sending the information to, who's sending the letter to. So you need to know the difference between the two. So if I was sending a letter to Gabrielle, who would be the return? What address would be the return address?
Yours.
Mine. And hers address would be the what? Inside address. We good? Can I move on to the next slide? It's like 10. Lenore, Miss Campbell wants you.
Which way you want?